Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for coming back and joining me for another video. I said I'd be back and I was back sooner rather than later. So I've got so many little bits and bobs to cover in this video. Firstly, some of you are asking about my lights because you've seen I've got a new addition in the corner. Here's some photographs of what that is. That is an empty vodka bottle with battery-powered fairy lights. And then the two behind me are these. I picked them up from like a homeware store really cheap. And these plastic batteries that you can buy in packs off of Amazon, they can spruce up anything. So that is what they are for those of you that are inquiring. So let's talk about royal stuff. That's why you're here, not about me. So firstly, Thomas Markle has announced, he did it on GB News with Dan Wootton, one of my favourite reporters, and he said that he was coming over for the Platinum Jubilee and he hopes to meet with Charles and the Queen. Now, I like Thomas Markle. Most of you that watch the channel regularly know that I do very much like him. I think he's a very sweet man, and I think the way that Harry and Meghan treated him and initially the press in the beginning was very cruel, and it was completely unnecessary. So I'm all for Thomas Markle getting his pound of flesh really from the media. I hope that he makes enough money from doing interviews and documentaries that he can enjoy his retirement fully and to the maximum. Some people have said, would I meet up with Thomas Markle? I would. If he came over for the Jubilee, I would meet up with him for a coffee. Would I film it for my channel? No. Would I ask him anything personal to do with Meghan? No, that's not what my channel is about. I know that I do talk about Meghan, but I talk about news stories and media reports that have come out and asked general opinions whilst giving my own. But would I go grab a coffee with him and a chinwag? Yeah, absolutely. He's a very sweet man, and I hope he enjoys his Jubilee stay when he does come over. However, I'm not hopeful that Charles and the Queen will see him, but you never know. Now, this whole video I've called Rinse and Repeat, and there are reasons for this. Firstly, Omid Scobie has now been made a royal executive editor at Yahoo News. Now, I can't see how anyone could employ Omid as a royal reporter because he's not exactly impartial in his views and who he supports. He's very pro Harry and Meghan, who are no longer working royals. So to have a royal editor who is just going to continuously bash the monarchy and make a lot of swipes, it doesn't make sense why Yahoo would pick him. This was absolutely proven in what I believe to be his first article to come out on Yahoo, where he has basically put on Rinse and Repeat, Finding Freedom. He discussed the fact that Harry, when he gave his NBC interview whilst he was at the Invictus Games, Harry said that he was worried about the Queen. He wanted to protect her, especially from people around her. Now, much like Oprah, Harry deliberately left this open. He didn't describe who it was, which left it open to people to twist the narrative and to say, oh, he means it about his father, he means it about his brother, he means it about... Recently, people have said, oh, he means it about Prince Andrew. Now, that could have some logic to it because you think, okay, Prince Andrew has been getting very close to the Queen, or more so, there's been reports on it. There was a hoo-ha about the fact that he walked his mother to his father's memorial. Again, I'd like to point out. But, you know, that could have been what Harry was implying. Omid has explained the fact that he means the Queen's personal dresser, Angela Kelly. He trudged up the story about how Harry went through his most emotional and darkest times whilst being part of the royal family due to Angela Kelly because she tried to put Meghan Markle in her place. Gotta say, what an awful woman. Do you want to know what that was over? That was over Tiaragate. Yes, Omid has felt the need with everything that's going on in the world and how many years have passed to trudge up that. That particular story was because Meghan flew in a hairdresser to have practice hair sessions. Yes, flew them in from America or Canada. And Angela Kelly did not go get the tiara that Meghan wanted at the time she wanted it. Angela Kelly reportedly, and there's lots of people that have given their opinions on this, basically turned around and said, you can't just come in and take the Queen's jewels for a practice hairdo. Use a plastic tiara for a start. Given Meghan's hair on her wedding day, I don't like to be catty about women on their wedding day because all brides are beautiful, but that hair was a mess. And you can't tell me that's down to the fact that she couldn't get a tiara. It was completely basic. It didn't even have Kirby grips, hair grips or hairspray in it. It was very bizarre for this big hoo-ha to have been caused about the fact that she could not get this practically priceless priceless tiara available at the drop of a hat for her to have a practice hair run. It's the sense of entitlement. But yes, so Omid's felt the need to dredge this up. This is why Harry is worried about the Queen. Her closest friend, who has been with the Queen loyally for years, who is the first person, well, now the Duke of Kent's been given permission to do his autobiography, but obviously Angela Kelly has got a book. The Queen has given her permission. This is her very good friend. So Harry is upset at someone that told him, or rather Meghan at the time, no. Now, if you look at all of the gripes that Harry and Meghan have in the order that they did it, cutting off Harry's friends, they were the friends that told Harry, maybe slow down a bit. They then went and attacked William and Catherine. Catherine went first, didn't she? Because they weren't accepting of Meghan. It's because they saw through her. And so on and so forth. Anyone that called out Meghan on her behaviour, aside from the Queen, and started telling them no, they were the next lot of people to get basically pushed, cut off, not accepted. Harry was slowly told how many people he was allowed to hang around with. Now, Angela Kelly wasn't the only person that Omid felt the need to trudge up historic dirt on, and this is the fact that the other person was the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, because apparently Edward is one of the aides that when Harry and Meghan demanded to see the Queen to do with the Sandringham Summit privately to discuss what they wanted, they were told no, because all of the Queen's staff and other family members felt that they would literally railroad her, that they would get her in a private setting away from anyone to advise her and push the Queen into saying yes to their string of demands. This was obviously, and rightly so, turned down. So these are the people, again, anyone that's come up against Harry and told him no, they're on the hit list. And a hit list is what Omid's new job working for Yahoo is going to be. Do you honestly think he's going to report fairly on the Duchess of Cambridge, or Duchess Kate as he calls her? This is the same man that said that all of the Queen's staff and other royal reporters, they're racist because they treated him differently. He's the one that pushed the narrative that Prince William said words, along with Nadine White as well, the racial correspondent for, I think, The Independent, that Prince William said about war in Africa and Asia. Well, it was made up. So the fact that they've chosen Omid, and the fact that he lied to the court as well over finding freedom, it boggles the brain. So basically, Omid's new job is going to be him serialising his biography and rehashing old stories on behalf of the Sussexes, who yet again can hold up their hands and go, well, he didn't say that. We've got nothing to do with it. Honestly, Your Honour. So, speaking of books, we've got a new royal book that's come out. This is by Tina Brown, and you have probably read lots of excerpts of it where it's being serialised across all media outlets and social media. I have not read it. I have downloaded it for my next camping trip, which is coming up shortly. I've been reading the bits that have come out in the newspapers and stuff. I'll be honest, and I hope Miss Brown has no problem with this, but I haven't read anything that I didn't already know at this point. She's reportedly spoke to over 120 different insiders and sources, so there's bound to be some bits and bobs in that book. Like I said, the book that I'm waiting for, that everyone's waiting for, is the Tom Bowers book. This is the one. He is mercenary. There will be no stone unturned. He is savage. In more news, we have had Donald Trump speaking about Harry and Meghan. We know that he's not a massive fan, but he hit the nail on the head. In true Trump style, he was very direct with it and basically said he has never seen a man more whipped than what Harry is. For those of you that don't get that expression, that is a big thumb from his wife under his forehead. Who's your good boy? Donald Trump completely hit the nail on the head here, because the absolute audacity of the couple, everything that they've done, everything they've merged, they have merged the fact that they're royal. Okay, they couldn't use Sussex Royal. Okay, Meghan can't call herself HRH. I bet she probably gets the staff to do that at home. I've got no idea how Meghan treats her staff, obviously. But I just find it completely bizarre that this couple still, how long has it been since they left the royal family, and they are still making jibes, still attacking at every available opportunity. And you know, when their Netflix documentary, not Heart of Invictus, the other one that they're filming, and they are filming one, because why would Heart of Invictus have had Netflix crew following them around going to New York? Why would they have been filmed going into a meeting with the UN? They wouldn't. That's got nothing to do with the Invictus Games. So when that comes out, you know there's going to be more thinly veiled attacks. I mean, Meghan couldn't even, I forgot to mention it in my last video, she couldn't even stand on stage for the Invictus when she was doing her, oh look, me moment. And she still made a dig that the newspapers picked up on where she turned around and said, I'm still talking, excuse me, got my lip gloss here. Yes, while she was still talking, she basically turned around and said that what Invictus is service. It's that bloody word with her again, isn't it? What the royal family do isn't service. What Meghan and Harry do is service. It is. It's called self-service, self-promotion. I sometimes think they got confused with selflessness and selfishness because we know which way they tend to sway. I did say in the last video, Harry's spending time with all the Invictus families and the athletes. Hopefully this will, give him a good dose of reality away from all of those Hollywood, LA Valley people. They're like, yes, oh my God, no, you're so amazing, blowing smoke up his arse and making him think that he is the saviour of the world. Maybe he'll come back down to earth a little bit. Nope, Harry's straight back on a plane and straight back at saving the world. Do you know what he's doing this time? Podcast. He's back to, not the Diana card, the mental fitness card. In a new podcast, he has announced that he will change the conversation around mental health fitness. Yes, he has absolutely no qualifications in mental health and he's only relying on his own experiences, which, as far as I'm concerned, when I see photographs of Harry living his best life, this is the new and improved Harry with better up services at the drop of the hand. He's got life coaching. He's got the best therapists in the world. I think that I'd take a hard pass. Speaking to the Reid Hoffman on the Masters of Scale podcast, Harry said, what we want to do is turn the conversation from mental health and change the dialogue and change a whole conversation to make it more around mental fitness. I'd love to say, how? How are you going to do that? Okay, it's not completely aired yet, but it's just one big plug for Better Up, which is life coaching. It's all been done before. You've got mental health, you've got mental well-being. Harry's just basically tweaking mental well-being to become mental fitness. Now, the thing that gets me here is Harry has already been part of a huge mental health charity, an absolutely huge campaign, Heads Together. Catherine spearheaded it. This has actually been admitted by Prince William. This is to do with her uncle going through struggles and then her brother James Middleton as well. Catherine has watched loved family members go through struggles, and then obviously Harry and William, the death of their mother. This is how it all came together. But the difference is Catherine, William and Harry were advised by qualified mental health experts, by doctors, by experts. These are medically trained people. But basically they spent ages, all of these top qualified experts came together with an idea to build this campaign. What makes you think that Harry has got expert advice? One, he's promoting Better Up, which is life coaching. I can tell you now that you could go onto Google after watching this video, you could pay £100 for a life coaching course and you can call yourself a life coach. Life coaches can be absolutely wonderful if that's the level of help that you need. But it seems Harry's trying to discourage people from actually seeking true professional medical help and instead going to these executive burnout experts. And I'm sorry, he's a walking advert for the companies that he's being paid by. Now, in some fantastic news, away from the Sussexes briefly, we had last night some wonderful news that came up on social media, and that is the London Air Ambulance have historically made the most money from a gala that they held. Prince William is patron and he's obviously a qualified ambulance pilot himself, and it is absolutely phenomenal. They near enough made £1 million. Now this is fantastic because what it means is they can actually now apply those funds and cover costs for potentially 400 or more emergency life-saving services. Now this is something that Prince William is a patron of. He went to the gala, promoted it. Did we see Prince William on stage talking about himself and his family? No, we didn't. Now, this isn't me using Prince William to hit Harry with a stick, but could you imagine if Harry and Meghan actually use their star power, as they keep calling it. But rather than making documentaries involving the Invictus Games, it could have been that original one that they were going to do. They were going to do like a Super Bowl event. It was going to be absolutely huge. They tipped like Ed Sheeran, Beyonce, and it all fell through. They said COVID, but a lot of us believe it is to do with the fact that they signed to Amazon's rivals, Netflix. So then they've done the Netflix documentary, which I'm sure is going to be great. But could you imagine the amount of money that a huge Super Bowl concert would have actually raised for the Invictus Games? I mean, lots of people would have spent a lot of money going to see Beyonce, Ed Sheeran, and all the other people that they could have actually lined up. And that's the difference. That is the huge difference. But I think with Harry and Meghan, what they didn't understand about royal life, it's not about you. It's about the charities. It's about the causes. It's about the people. Meghan is an actress and she spent her entire life striving to be the centre of attention. But you could see that very early on from when she joined the royal family. And this is what caused clashes and problems. She wanted to be the star of the show. Even when they went to engagements, I mean, they went somewhere where they were handing out lunches to sex workers. And Meghan did that stunt where she wrote on bananas. Any event that they went to, Meghan obviously had the bump, but it was the continuous bump holding. I have no problems with women who are pregnant from holding their bumps. It's your bump. But when you're on a work engagement and everything you do, you're cupping it like you're smuggling a basketball. It was attention seeking. Everything that she seemed to do was drawing attention to her pregnancy. And that has continued since they've left the royal family. When they went to the Valor Awards, Meghan wore that ridiculous red dress. It was massively over the top. The NACCP Awards, they went there to accept the President's Awards. Meghan looked gorgeous. I did love this look. I said this before, but it was the fact that they were there, then they were speaking about their award that they're going to do to people. And it's all very much centred around them all the time. When they get up on stage, it's, they're talking about them, their children, their lives. Harry's always talking about his mental health, his struggles, their pain, their suffering. It's all me, I. And this is the problem that the couple are always going to face unless they change their attitudes. You're not going to be able to build your brand on being a humanitarian, saving the world, giving people a voice if all you do is use your voice to talk about yourself. They've made plenty of swipes about how they are committing their life to service, and the only service that anyone with a brain cell can see, it's a life of self-service. So that's it for me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a bit of a bric-a-brac one. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I keep coming back and giving you more content, and I will see you guys really soon. Have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you before. Take care for now. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.